Today I'm going to show you guys how to automate a lead notification when you get a new lead into your CRM. So today we're using Salesforce as our CRM, and we also use Slack as our messaging platform. Now, whatever CRM you use and whatever messaging platform you use, you could be using Pipedrive as your CRM or HubSpot or whatever the case is. And as far as your communication channel, instead of Slack, you could be using Gmail. We're just going to talk about when that new lead gets uploaded into your CRM. How do we get notified automatically that that lead came in? Do you want to be notified when those new leads come in? Because most of the time, these leads are high ticket, they're inbound, and you want to contact them ASAP, right? So when a new lead comes in, we want to be notified right away so that we know what's going on. We don't want to check our CRM at the end of the day and see that we have 5 new leads in. We want to go in, get a notification, click on that lead, and start working the sale, right? So what I've done is I've used Zapier to create an automation that basically notifies our sales team and marketing team whenever we get a new lead in Salesforce. Now you can see here in the Zap, it's pretty simple, but step one is when a new lead comes in, fire off this automation, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to send a message to the sales team, and then we're going to send a message to the Slack team. Now the whole point of Zapier here is that it just does all of this automatically. Okay, so the trigger to run this Zap is whenever a new lead is inputted into Salesforce, run the automation. Okay, so this is the trigger. And every single Zap that comes in needs some type of trigger. And then we're going to send messages from there. Okay. Now keep in mind, I am manually entering this lead in. Now I'm going to create a separate video to show you guys how to automate inbound leads into your CRM. So let's say you have a marketing channel. Let's say you're getting leads from Facebook, Google, your website, social media, whatever the case is. I could create a different automation to actually have that lead go straight into Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. But right now I'm just going to show you how to manually create that lead. Okay, so new lead was created. Okay, so if I go into Slack, you're gonna see here that new lead came in. Okay, it's a sales bot. You can see it's from Zapier, and this is pretty much our sales channel. Okay, so every time a new lead comes in, it's gonna upload all that information, and I'm gonna get a notification on my phone as well, saying who the contact name is, all the good stuff, right? And then also there's a link to where I could actually click on that, and it takes me straight to the lead as well. So let's run through this Zap. Okay, so whenever you create a Zap, okay, the first thing you want to do is create a trigger. Now, this is your first step. Okay, so the trigger event is going to be when a new lead comes in, start this Zap, right? So a new lead came in and the Zap ran. And if I go here on the left and I click Zap runs, you could actually see here December 4th, 1:19 p.m. is when that Zap ran. So this is a history log of all the Zaps that have run before. So we could see that it was successful and it ran. Okay, so back to building the Zap. Trigger event, new lead, start the Zap. Okay, so boom, let's go on to the next step. Now, what I'm doing here on this step is I'm actually creating a formatter, okay? So whenever a new lead comes in, there's a bunch of data that is pulled into Zapier from that new lead. And if I click on here, you could see this. So you could see all the names and pretty much all the information on this new lead is uploaded into Zapier so that we could automate the next steps. All right, so this is all of the data, but you could see here the created date. The format is a little bit weird. It's got a T in it and there's a Z in it, and it's just the years first, and I just don't like it. Okay, what I want is I want the date to look like this: December 4th, 2025, and maybe military time if you like that. That's how I want the data to be in here. But right now, the data looks like this, and we need to get it to looking like this. So we're going to create a formatter step. And pretty much what we're going to do here is input the data we want to change. Okay. And the way you do this is you actually search for it here. And that's that created date right there. Okay. And then you want to change the format to the format you want. So there's a bunch of different formats you could convert that data to. And this is the format I want to change it to. Okay. So we click continue. And what you could do is you could test the step before you run it. So I'm going to retest it. And you see here, this is the output. Okay, so this is how we want the data to look. Data in looked like this, 2025, 1023. The data out now looks like this. Okay, so we got our date looking right. And then utilities is not too important for this video. I'm not going to go over that. And now, once we found out who the owner of the lead is and we recognize that we do have a lead and we fix the date, now we want to curate our Slack message. And this is where we go into here. Okay, so what channel do you want to send it to? Because if you go into Slack, there's a bunch of different channels and group chats. We want to select the sales wins. That's where our sales information is going in. And then we want to curate our message here. Okay, so you see these little boxes, these are actually the data points that you're pulling in from Salesforce. So this is how I curated my new message, new lead. Okay, and the name is going to be the name of the owner, which is me. Lead source, where did it come from? Company, contact name, phone number, title, the date, city, and the link to the actual Salesforce lead so that I could just go ahead and click it. Once you kind of curate your own custom message, however you want it to look, you're going to go down, continue, continue. And now this is going to be the second or sixth step on Slack. And we're going to send this message to the marketing channel. Okay, basically let know marketing that we have a new lead as well. Create the message, right? And then continue. And then boom. And then what you're going to do is you're going to publish the Zap. And you are done. So now you can see that it works. Whenever a new lead is submitted in Salesforce, right? You're going to get a message in Slack letting the team know, the CEO, the executives know that a new lead came in. Simple, super simple automation. But a lot of these small automations, if you stack them up and you really start to automate your entire CRM, you'll see that you're spending a lot more time working on actual business rather than focusing on manual data entry, figuring out where things are, notifying your team members where things are. If you're interested in learning more about automations, how to streamline your business, and maybe you have an idea you want to bring to life, DM, comment, reach out. I'd love to collaborate with you.